reason I play music is because I feel so powerless. But I can control this. When I play keyboard, I feel like I'm doing something constructive. Because if it changes my energy, well, that's good enough for me. I don't think I'm going to stop the Jewish media from being the Jewish media. That's just me. A lot of people like to focus on these things as if it's going to change anything. I could talk about the Jesuits, but what's the point in talking about the Jesuits? They're going to keep saying it's the Jews, and they're not even going to look up the Jesuits. Because their confirmation bias is so important to them. What would they do without confirmation bias? They probably slit their wrists, as they should, but they won't. There's a lot of things that are going on no one will bring up. There's a lot of things going on behind the sidelines. And it's crazy. Donald Trump was the president, and I feel like I'm one of the few people in this country that actually gets it. Everybody's so focused on the teeny tiny dot. The bigger picture will fall by the wayside every time. When you focus on the teeny tiny dot, you're enslaved the whole time. Because that's what they want. They want you to talk about the stuff that they're talking about. And they want you to be mad about the stuff that you're convinced you can't do anything about. But you can, if your energy is uplifted. That's the best thing you could do for yourself in the shit world. And unfortunately, Satan is the prince, but God is the king. God will always be the king. No matter how much Satan thinks he's controlling, remember that when you feel like shit. Because when you remember God is in control, the stuff is less likely to take its toll. Psychologically, maybe physically, but if you're a true Christian, and I hope that's what you are, for your sake, not really mine, but you know that your reward isn't on this shit planet. Your reward is in the next life. And for those of you motherfuckers that call that shit superstition or faith is stupid. These ignorant sacks of shit, man. Let's just stop there. Kind of want to talk about that. Okay? You have faith in order to do everything. You don't realize that. The kinds of people that make ignorant statements like that don't realize that God is inside of them all the time. They reject him and they choose his adversary. And when they choose his adversary, they say things like faith is dumb and stop waiting for God and Jesus is a made-up story and all that. And, let's give them the benefit of the doubt that these secular sacks of shit are actually correct, okay? Because that's what we do. We're the devil's advocate. We've always done that. We'll always do that, okay? That's the only way you can solve problems is by being the devil's advocate. I don't think that people realize that shit. That's what we call empathy, okay? Most people don't have, not sympathy, but empathy for the devil, okay? Anyway. What was I talking about? Faith. You were talking about faith. Yes, faith. Faith versus skeptics. Do you see that? See that? I have faith. That's my camcorder. I have faith that something is going to happen with this. What'd I do? I don't see it. But I feel it. And I know that it's possible. Because I believe it. And a lot of people just don't understand that. People that are like more pragmatic and logical and all that, they don't get it. And I'm not saying that you can't be logical, but faith is not supposed to be logical. Faith seems ridiculous to people that insist on reality. What the fuck is reality though, man? They're controlling reality. They're controlling your perception of everything, man. And I mean, you can call me a schizo and all that. I mean, you're not wrong. But reality is whatever you think it is. You know? If you think you're a victim, you're a victim. If you think you're a badass, you're a badass. I mean, why do you think this whole gender situation is what it is? It's because people are so easily convinced of particular narratives that they really want to believe about themselves and about the world that they live in. And unfortunately, everybody is in that trap. Whether they're a leftist lunatic, a cultural Marxist, whatever you want to call them, it doesn't really matter. They could be a God-loving patriot, okay? They could be a Christian conservative. They're still in that trap. They still believe in the Constitution, you know? I believe in the Bible. I don't believe in the Constitution. I believe in the Bible, okay? Y'all can think that's dumb. I don't give a shit. I'm going to keep believing in it because I see the truth in the Bible. But faith seems preposterous to people that don't have that connection. You know, we've always had a really deep connection to God ever since we were a kid. So, you know, all those unbelievers can eat a dick up, as my hero Tupac would say. I feel sorry for unbelievers. Because it's not just like really sad that they're going to burn in hell. It's really sad that they look at our hope like it's so silly. You know? It's like, imagine having hope in this world.